everyone has been worried and wondering about the whole Epstein thing and all of the Epstein files. And what we have is Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, who are over the FBI now. And everyone has really been waiting for something to happen and for more information to come out about that in those files and the details and stuff. And recently they've come out and they've been saying things that kind of make it sound like they've been assimilated into the Borg and they've become the thing that they hate the most. But what we have here is Mr. Officer Tatum. This guy is an ex-officer. I don't think he left for any bad reason. He was on the force for like 10 years. Conservative, good Christian dude. I've watched some of his stuff. I like some of his stuff. And we're going to see what he has to say about this and react to it.
You know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself.
In fact, they saw documents that allude to the fact that he did not kill himself, and they're telling people in the public that he did. They're complete frauds and are compromised. Or you need to listen to what they said, and there isn't any evidence that he didn't kill himself. There isn't any evidence that he was murdered.
I'm very curious to know what this guy's take is on all this kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to see, but it seems so strange, the position that they're taking.
Yeah, we got to talk about this Jeffrey Epstein thing. So now that we've gotten reports out, and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino has said on record, it almost looked like in a hostage situation. At least Dan Bongino looked like he in a hostage situation.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to...
Nobody believes it, by the way. Like, any person who has even remotely followed any of this stuff, it's like there's no way that's the case.
Their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
You just look at the way they look to their faces. It's like, man, they got those faces of saying, we're both lying. We're lying through our teeth.
Killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
They said that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Now, my wife and I talked about this last night. She was incensed, and she believes that for whatever reason they have to say that, and that may not be the truth about what happened. Now, here's my opinions on it. Comment your opinion in the comment section.
But why would that be? Like, I don't know. I mean, they are the directors of the FBI, but surely they would know. Like, we're looking so much for answers, you know?
Do you think that Jeffrey Epstein actually killed himself, or do you think he really was murdered, was suicided? Now, write in the comment section what you guys think, but let me tell you what I think. I think that definitely he was either forced to kill himself or somebody killed him. There is no, in my opinion, there's no way that you can think that all of this is coincidence, right? The question is, if he did kill himself, was it a situation where he was voluntold that you either kill yourself or we gonna kill you?
It could be that. It could be that dude just went in his cell, you know, a couple of bad dudes, agents, it was all set up, put a gun to him and said, look, we'll let you do this. This is the easiest, simplest way for you to die. And if you don't do that, then we're going to drag you out and torture you or something. It could be that.
You either do it with dignity in this way or form of fashion, or we're going to do it in a violent, more public way.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That maybe, just maybe, the guards turned the cameras off. They removed him from a suicide watch, so therefore he didn't have a roomie or a bunkie. And he took a pill and he died, and they wrapped around his neck to stage it to look like he hung himself, right? So he could die with a little bit of dignity.
Maybe.
Is that what they did? Because clearly, if you do any research and you have any common sense, the surveillance footage in his room or in that area was broken. How is that possible? On the day this happened, the surveillance footage didn't work. On the day this happened, simultaneously with the surveillance footage came the guards falling asleep. Not one guard, but both guards fell asleep.
Yeah, right.
That's like flying in an aircraft on an airplane and both pilots go to sleep. No, they're alternating sleep. Both of them can't be the same tired. They both fell asleep.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that happens often.
No.
So you're telling me,
especially not with such a high profile inmate. There's no way. There's no way.
The highest profile, the most prolific pedophile in American history somehow is
this guy's just reading my mind. Hand on heart, I haven't watched this video.
Maximum security. and the cameras don't work, and both guards that could have watched the camera or testified to what happened or could have prevented it from happening or whatever it can be, both of them were asleep the whole time.
Did you guys know that for most of the people watching YouTube videos, only a small percentage of those people are actually subscribed to those channels? But subscribing is really quick and easy. All you have to do is first to make a YouTube account, which is free, and then after that, go down to the video that you're watching, hit the like button, which goes a long way in helping out the algorithm, and then go over and hit the subscribe button. After you've hit the subscribe button, click the drop down arrow and click the option that says all, so that can notify you whenever a new video from this creator has dropped. Subscribing is free, and making a YouTube account is also free. It allows you to keep up with all of your favorite content creators, and of course it goes a long way in helping out my channel, and I really do appreciate it. So with all of that being said, back to the video.
You can't convince my 4-year-old that that's true.
Do you think Epstein killed himself sincerely?
I don't know. I will say that, he was a fixture in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
I don't know what Barr said about it either. I have no idea what he said. What did he say? He killed himself, probably?
He said he killed himself and that they were going to do this investigation. They never did the investigation. It's never been public.
Well,
and they hid it. And why are they doing that? And clearly Barr knew. But why would Bill Barr be covering up the death of Jeffrey Epstein?
Bill Barr didn't do an investigation on the election fraud either, okay? He said he did, and he pretended he did, but he didn't. But possibly he didn't.
Do you think it's possible that Epstein was killed?
But there are those people, there are many people, I think you're one of them, right? But a lot of people think that he was killed. He knew a lot.
To be honest, I don't think Trump cares that much. I mean, not about this, to be honest with you. I think he's got I think he's more focused on other stuff. The border and building up, and getting out all the drugs and decreasing the crime and the war that's going on and the economy. This specific case, it's a big deal. It is. But every time I've ever heard Trump remark on it, I just don't think he cares that much.
A lot on a lot of people.
He was killed.
You think so?
I think the closer you look, I'm not a conspiracy person at all. I believe everything I hear. But yeah, the closer you look into it, I mean, the Attorney General of the United States, your Attorney General, clearly lied about the Epstein death.
Yeah,
and
he was.
Why?
The dude, Bill Barr, I think his name is. I saw him at the airport once. Is it Bill Barr or is it Matt Barr? I forget, because there's the comedian, right? That's Bill Burr. So is it Bill Barr or Matt? I forget his name, but the Attorney General, I saw him at I was working at the airport once and I saw him walk by. And I was like, hey, that guy looks familiar. He didn't have any profile, nothing. It was just like one limo guy was leading the way. I was like, man, I thought he'd have like an escort or something.
It was certainly, it wasn't well done. They had no cameras. They had no anything. Everybody was sleeping, and a case could be made. Look, I'm not going to get involved in it, but I can tell you.
See that? I'm not going to get involved in that. He doesn't care that much about this.
A case could be made either way, but it certainly wasn't the most well-run play.
So the question is this, and this is what I pose to conservatives. You need to make your mind up. You need to either say Kash Patel and Don Bongino are compromised and they're complete frauds and they're part of the deep state system, or you have to contend with the fact that they're telling you the truth. One of the two can happen. I'm sick of people trying to act like, well, no, they're just not right about this. No, if in fact they saw documents that allude to the fact that he did not kill himself and they're telling people in the public that he did, they're complete frauds and they're compromised. Or you need to listen to what they said, and there isn't any evidence that he didn't kill himself. There isn't any evidence that he was murdered. You got to come up with one or two. I get mad when I hear people say, oh, they right about everything, but not this. No, this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. I don't know, one extreme or the other. Normally I'd say no, but he's right. This is a big situation. Also, there's the other aspect of this is that before these guys ever got in, and I mean, once it started looking like Trump was going to win, and then he did actually win, and then it took quite a while to vote some of these other guys in. The Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and several of the other people, that was a process. Basically, I heard this guy who was working for the FBI, I forget his name, but he basically reported that, man, they scrubbed everything. Like, they were spending day and night deleting documents, deleting papers, on all kinds of stuff, on all kinds of dirt. Like, the former dude who was over the FBI, was like crooked as hell, hated Trump. And so he had a lot of time. They had a lot of time to really scrub the place squeaky clean. So if there was any connections, you know, with Epstein and all this kind of stuff going on, it could very well be that that stuff just got completely deleted, completely scrapped. So by the time these two got into power, into the office of the FBI and the leadership, all they had to work with was certain documents, and that was it. They had nothing else. No footage, no nothing. And they just looked at what they had and said, well, based off of this, it looks like a suicide. That could be very legitimate too.
They completely lied to us about the most prolific pedophile in history. Then they can't tell us the truth about anything else. So either they compromise or they not.
I think he's right about that. If they're intentionally lying about this specific case, then you can't really trust them.
I lean more towards believing that he probably killed himself, but there were some interesting circumstances around him doing it or not doing it, right? How he did it, what methods he used, who coerced him into doing it. All of those things may be methods and strategies that they can't divulge. So that's just my opinion, but I want to
maybe it was aliens and they can't talk about it.
Opinion, because it was very, very interesting. And also said Patel pled to release additional files to improve transparency, promised to publish a trunk load of documents within a week. And that was back at May 2025 reporting, or I guess early May reporting. Apparently they said they're not going to release the files, but this article is saying that Kash said he's going to release some files. We shall see. But I think I trust him that he didn't kill us.
What if it was aliens? Like, what if it was legit some kind of, you know, being, you know? I'm mostly joking. I am. If you get to know me long enough and you keep watching my videos, I'm very open to a lot of different ways of thinking, spiritual types of stuff, and things that a lot of people are just completely shut the door on. And so, what if they did uncover something and see something that was quite supernatural, and they're like, if we come out to the public with this, it's gonna be insane. We have to tell people that he killed himself. I'm just saying, I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, I don't want to close the door to anything, okay? It's like, you never know. But I'm not quite ready to throw these guys underneath the bus yet. I think it's a bit too early on for that. They have built up a good reputation with people. They, you know, one of them was on YouTube doing a lot of stuff, and then Kash Patel, he's been, you know, doing this kind of stuff for years and calling people out. And I think that it's warranted to just give them a little wiggle room. You know, let's not go full pitchforks and judgment all of a sudden and say, whoa, you're not giving us what we want and you're not giving us the answers we want, so screw you guys. Let's not do that yet. Like, maybe let's hold off and say, okay, this seems strange, this seems fishy, we weren't expecting this, but let's see what else you guys can do. Like, let's give them a little breathing room. That's where I'm at. I'd love to know where you guys are at. Please let me know your thoughts and comments in the comments below, your ideas in the comments. I'll leave the link to this video, of course. Check out this guy's channel, Officer Tatum. He's a good guy, and go subs to him. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great freaking day.